Welcome to the Horse Talk Show. Have you ever seen a horse who could talk? With your host, Louisa Barton, who really wants to be a famous rider. She really loves to ride fast. Presented by Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care.
Truth is, I have horses with people problems.
Now here's the Brit on the bit, Louisa Barton. Enjoy the show.
Larson Farm.
Welcome to the Horse Talk Show. Have you ever seen a horse who could talk? With your host, Louisa Barton, who really wants to be a famous rider. She really loves to ride fast. Presented by Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care.
Truth is, I have horses with people problems.
Now here's the Brit on the bit, Louisa Barton. Enjoy the show.
Larson Farms is our TV broadcast sponsor. Mr. Richard Larson, a man of great integrity, cares about every single bale of hay and about taking care of his customers. He also has a huge heart for those genuinely in need. Larson Farms, Idaho's finest alfalfa. The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital. Welcome to the Horse Talk Show, presented by Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Thank you to Larson Farms, our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
I'm Louisa Barton in the studio with my co-host, Dancing Pete Rodda from Complementary Horsemanship. We have a great show lineup for you today.
Woohoo!
We have Elle Woolley joining us after Dr. Cayot. And Elle is a grade 3 Para Dressage Rider. And she's going to chat to us a little bit about her career, her bucket list, what she's accomplished, where she's been so far, and a little bit about her horse that she rides. Should be a very good couple of segments with her, followed by Dr. Nathalie Solomon. And she is the Greene Pharmacist, creator of Equine, and she's going to be on with us for the second to the last segment of the show and a good part of the last part to tell us about all the new products she has. What I love about her, other than her being a professional and a great friend of mine, is that she has her own licensed lab on her own farm here, made in Ocala. Every single batch is independently tested, and her products have proved to be extremely effective. I'm going to tell you a funny story later and try not to laugh and snort.
We need a snort or two for a good story.
Right, for sure. But first of all, let's start off with news and events from the horse world. Yep. Horse Protection Association of Florida.
Turning tragedy into triumph.
They have the Spirit Walk. They're doing this on Saturdays and Sundays from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. with a reservation. They have Miracle Minis, whose names are
Hope,
Faith,
Courage,
and Love.
Woohoo!
And you can book your walk with a mini. You can actually send an email to Christine at hpaf.org. And you can set up a time to go and visit the Horse Protection Association, make a donation to this fantastic 501c3 cause. Visit the minis, take a walk, sit on a bench, say a prayer, meditate, whatever you like to do.
And they have little things you can fill out as you do it.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be a lot of fun and get a good walkout for you and the minis.
I love that. I think that's fantastic. It's a great cause too.
Ride, run, roll,
and relay.
and relay. That was her southern drawl coming out.
That was my southern drawl I'm practicing. Don't be a fool.
On April 1st.
That's right. April 1st. Don't be a fool and miss out on this from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. at our dear friends and media partner, Florida Horse Park. And that is 11851 Southwest 16th Avenue, Ocala. And your team consists of one runner, one equestrian, and one mountain biker.
Woo-hoo.
The Horse Talk Show's team saving grace is the fact that we do have Isaac, who has been training on his mountain bike for us. Me as the equestrian and Pete as the runner is incredibly scary in itself.
Who's chasing me?
Yeah, I know, right? I think Pete will be dancing the entire way. But anyway, it's a great cause because it all goes to the Greenway Association that manages and looks after all of our beautiful trails. They'll have some vendors and some raffles and some food trucks and fun things going on as well. So make sure you get signed up.
$70 a person.
Yes.
So for 3 people, 70 each person. Or if you feel frisky and want to do all 3, it's 150. Yeah,
No, I think that's a
crazy
very
people.
brave person. Yes, indeed. And we've got a few other things we got to mention. The most important one of all, the Equine Industry Expo, which is part of the Equine Initiative presented by Piranha. This event brought to you by Quantum Fiber. We are going to have horses downtown, a breed exhibit in the FEI stabling barn. We're going to have a round pen. Dancing Pete is going to be doing horsemanship demo. We're going to have some top experts in the Fortner Farms classroom that you can stop by and ask questions and learn about the different careers in the horse world. We're going to have a farrier here doing a demonstration, working on getting an equine dentist here for you. And we're also going to have carriage rides with Big Horse Ranch, brought to you by Larson Hay. And I just want to thank wonderful sponsors: Lip Chip, Pat Myers Electric, Larson Hay, Brookledge, Equus Television, FEI Stabling, OBS, Miller & Sons Plumbing, Everglades Equipment, and the Horse Talk Show. And Funky Unicorn is joining us to help us out as well. So thank you to the sponsors and to those coming to help volunteer to make this a wonderful learning experience.
And thanks, Louisa, for organizing this great event.
Thank you. Equine edutainment at its finest.
It's going to be entertaining and learning.
Yes. Williston Horsemen's Association is holding their St. Paddy's Day 5D Jackpot Barrels Friday, March 17th. That is 803 Southwest 19th Avenue, Williston. Should be a lot of fun.
Woohoo!
And this is rather exciting news here. Gary Stevens, Hall of Fame. Gary Stevens, who is a top jockey for many, many, many years, very, very well celebrated. His son is going to ride his very first race.
Wow.
So congratulations. Gary's wife actually texted me this press release that he was going to ride his first race this weekend. So very excited. I think he's riding for Steve Asmussen, if I'm correct. Yes. So
Cool.
Very exciting stuff. So we wish him all the best in his career. His father certainly taught him right. So TC Stevens will ride in his very first race. Motown Missile in the 6th race at 3:45 on Sunday. So very exciting stuff. So we wish him the very best, a safe trip. And he looks just like his dad. He does. He really does. I think we mentioned that already, didn't we? Oh no, this is July. Wow, we're right out in July here. Larson Hay actually sponsored the Williston Horsemen's Association barrel racing youth buckle barrel race. $1,000 of added money there, I see. And they're looking for, looks like there's going to be exhibitions and a number of other things going on. Pre-entry opens July 7th, so that sounds like a long way off, but I guess it's not really, right? The way this year's going by.
This year's going.
I know, right? And Magic. What about Magic? Do we have Magic? Oh,
There's
we do.
Magic.
So
What
Magic,
did you do with Magic?
Magic, who is the only living top 10 most heroic animal in the history of the world, by the way, went to reboot, and the doctor and Fabian did a scan on her.
Wow.
Because we want longevity and good health for Magic so she can continue to be the hero horse that she is and do all the good work she does visiting sick and dying people. And her and her team of mini horses actually visit between 25,000 and 50,000 sick and dying people a year, as well as go to disasters, comfort first responders. And she is also an official Ocala Police Department officer.
Wow.
And she visited a school this week on Career Day. And Debbie from Gentle Carousel Miniature Therapy Horses actually used to be a school principal. So she knows exactly what she's doing with this age of kids. But when they asked the question, how many children here have ever touched a horse? I think there was only maybe 2 hands from all the kids that had ever met or touched a horse. And I think pretty neat that all these children got to meet Officer Magic, touch Officer Magic, and learn about the horses. So,
And we also want to put a shout out for the behind the scenes guy, because he doesn't get mentioned very much, does he? George.
George, George is wonderful. George is fantastic. And also a shout out to the Chief Balkan of the Ocala Police Department, who is so forward thinking that he's concerned about our young children growing up and what they associate with law enforcement and with literacy and getting horses into the school. So hats off to him that he, has pushed for this and made sure that this is something that we can enjoy in our community. So well done, Chief Balkan. That noise means it's time to go to break and come back with Dr. Adam Cayot. So stay with us on the Horse Talk Show, and we'll be right back.
Talk about eyes.
This portion of the show is presented by Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. And our TV broadcast sponsor is Larson Farms, Idaho's finest alfalfa. Supporting sponsors are DAC Vitamins and Minerals, Seminole Feed Stores, Lip Chip LLC, Piranha, Florida HVAC Services, Crystal Cryo, Ocala Dog Ranch, and The Drinking Post. This show is brought to you in part by DAC Vitamins and Minerals of Florida. All horses need a solid immune system, excellent joint support, a healthy gut, and DAC has all the vitamins and minerals they need with the NASC stamp of approval. So like them on Facebook now or go to feeddac.com. DAC, it makes a world of difference.
With over 70 years of collective experience in the horse industry, Lip Chip was built with integrity by horsemen for horsemen. Introducing the Chip Link system. Powered by Lip Chip, where a 15-digit unique ID becomes a key to unlock not only identity, but also health paperwork, owner information, and even photos of each horse. So simple, even a child can do it. The future is here. The future is Lip Chip.
Experience the bluegrass. Step into the Elwood Hotel and Suites, situated in the heart of Lexington. Elwood is a unique yet familiar place, your home base, to explore, minutes from the University of Kentucky and the best distilleries on the Bourbon Trail. Only a short drive from horse country and from the iconic Keeneland racetrack. Full of warm, natural light, Elwood rooms are inviting, a space to retreat, rewind and relax. From spacious rooms to extended stay suites. Each room is unique, just like you. Don't miss a beat in your fitness routine either, and your furry friend is welcome too. Elwood has cozy beds, yummy treats, and snuggles too. Elwood is more than a landing place. It's a tribute to a contemporary southern lifestyle, a delicious place to refuel and to launch your Lexington adventure. Book your stay at theelwoodhotel.com and like them on Facebook now. Settle in at Elwood and begin generating memories in the heart of the bluegrass. The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
I'm Louisa Barton for the Horse Talk Show and Equus Television here at Peterson Smith Equine Hospital. For the Horse Talk Show and Equus Television here at Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Chatting to our regular weekly vet in person. I have Dr. Adam Cayot here, and we're going to talk a little bit about horses' eyes. First of all, Dr. Cayot, they stick out.
Yeah, they stick out. That's right. Thus, they're prone to injury. When I got into this profession, I never thought in a million years I'd see as many eye problems as I have. I was lucky, I guess, with my horses. I don't ever recall there being an eye problem. I don't ever recall having a corneal ulcer or anything like that. But I was lucky, obviously. I see probably an eye issue at least once a week, at least. And it can be as minor as just some conjunctivitis or some irritation, especially down here in Florida with the sand. They get down, they roll in the sand, and they get, the eyelids and the area around their eye gets inflamed and upset from that, to, a punctured eye, things that are bad. Punctured eye, stromal abscesses where they have actually abscess in the interior of the eye. Sudden blindness. It's amazing how many problems horses can have with their eyes. There can be eye issues can manifest themselves from actual physical trauma, probably the most common, to metabolic issues that the horse deals with, to genetic issues that the horse deals with. They can all manifest themselves in different things that we see with problems with the eyes. If you see your horse holding its eye closed, not holding it open,
It is not winking at you.
it is not winking, and it is an issue. It needs to be seen by a veterinarian probably within the next 24 hours. It's not necessarily an emergency, obviously, unless there's a stick sticking in it or something like that, or it looks particularly bad. But eye issues can go to heck in a handbasket. So you need to be seen. You need to get on top of it. The sooner you get on top of it, the better your chances of a good outcome.
Now, is your first recommended step is maybe a good clean cloth and wipe it, and first of all to see what's going on?
If you can, yeah. I mean, some of them can be
cooperate.
Some of them can be very painful, and they won't let you touch their eye, and then obviously something bad is going on. But certainly, if you can clean the area with a wet washcloth or whatever, and use some eye wash solution that you might even have at home, and try to get a better idea of what's going on, so that you can tell your veterinarian, hey, this is what I see, that all that information is useful. And so certainly if you can do that, that's a great place to start.
And usually when you have an issue and you're trying to figure out what's going on, obviously you've got the veterinarian come. How does the veterinarian discover what it is, like whether it's an ulcer or not? Or
well, we try to do as thorough exam as we can. Typically, your regular house, farm call veterinarian's not an ophthalmologist, but we have enough knowledge to say, hey, I don't know what's going on. I need to refer this to an ophthalmologist. But typically, we can do a pretty thorough exam on the eye, even just with a bright light. I typically just use my cell phone light. I don't necessarily have an ophthalmoscope, though some veterinarians may have an ophthalmoscope. If you do a good physical exam or exam of the eye, just visually, number one. Number two, I generally put a stain on the cornea, so that'll give you some indications. Are there some lesions there that you might not be able to see with the naked eye? And then you just kind of go from there. You take how painful is this horse. A lot of things you can see. You can see cataracts. You can see stromal abscesses. You can see ulcers if you stain them. Certainly, and if the horse is just irritated and there's no stain uptake, then you say, okay, it's probably conjunctivitis. Or if there's no swelling around the conjunctiva, then you think, is there some kind of other inflammation that's going on in the eye, like moon blindness or something like that? Typically, we can gain a lot of information from doing just a general physical exam on the eye with the staining and that sort of thing. Probably 95% of them I can treat at home with meds that we can provide from the truck. eyes can be labor intensive. Typically, we end up having to treat these horses 4 to 6 times a day, and that goes through the night typically. So if you have a bad issue and you need to put a catheter in the eye, those horses are being treated throughout the night. So sleep for the owner can be at a premium. Yes. So that's why I say get on them early. Don't just, he'll be okay tomorrow, that kind of thing, because your chances are much better and a better outcome if you jump on these things sooner rather than later.
Now, sometimes we unfortunately see one-eyed horses. At what point would a horse need to lose its eye if there was a problem, and what would cause that?
Well, I mean, it can be caused by trauma, an ulcer that you just can't get, I mean, sometimes we lose the battle. It doesn't matter. An ulcer, a stromal abscess. I mean, I tell people when I get a stromal abscess, which is an abscess in the stromal layer of the eye, there's layers of the eye, it's 50% chance that you save the vision and the eyeball right out the bat. So that's the best percentage you have. Wow. If you can't control the pain, if you can't control the problem or get the problem better, then enucleation is a viable option. Horses typically deal well with enucleation. Just because of their eyes, they can see, fairly far over in front of them with the good eye. So that's good. I mean, it is a bit of a cosmetic defect that people don't necessarily like, and I totally understand that, but it's better than a painful horse and one that's truly suffering when you can help that out.
And we've certainly seen very successful sport horses in all sports that have lost an eye and still been, look at good old Patch, who did so well in the racing world.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, the only sport that I know of that can't compete with 2 eyes is polo. Polo horses need to have both their eyes. But pretty much dressage, jumping, racing, I can't think, reining, any of those horses can do just fine with one eye and be very successful. So, it's not necessarily the end of any career or anything like that unless you're a polo horse.
Now, this is a beautiful place to be here in Ocala. We love Marion County, but we do have a lot of sand, and in the summer and even sometimes in the winter, we have a lot of flies. So I'm sure that plays into us having maybe more eye problems than, for example, in England, I don't remember growing up having any eye problems.
Yeah, Florida's a petri dish for possible eye problems. So we have lots of flies, which irritate the eyes, and the horses then rub in their eyes. We also live in this subtropical climate where molds and fungus and things like that love to grow, which can get in the eyes and cause all kinds of problems. And then we have sand and that sort of thing. So certainly, there are a lot of possible insults in this climate to eyes, and that is probably part of the reason why we see so many problems. But fungal issues are a big issue. Those are hard to control. They get a hold of an eye. It's very hard to get a control of those, to treat those, and get a positive outcome.
Right, absolutely. And then the 4 to 6 times a day, that can be tough, but that's important, right?
Absolutely, it is important because, and it is hard. It's very hard to have compliance. So if you're an owner and you have somebody that can help you, that's awesome. We do have places that take layups that you can pay somebody to do that, which
that might be the easy way.
That's definitely a good option for a lot of people, and they're thankful for that. But it's important to have those medications in at the proper times with the proper distance in between. Yeah.
Got it. Thank you, Dr. Adam Cayot, talking about eyes. It's definitely a horse problem. Louisa Barton for the Horse Talk Show. This portion of the show is presented by Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. And our TV broadcast sponsor is Larson Farms, Idaho's finest alfalfa. Supporting sponsors are DAC Vitamins and Minerals, Seminole Feed Stores, Lip Chip LLC, Piranha, Florida HVAC Services, Crystal Cryo, Ocala Dog Ranch, and The Drinking Post. Crystal Cryo offers cryo skin facials, cryo slimming, and cryo toning, all non-invasive with no skin damage, no discomfort, no recovery time, and cryo offers a healthier alternative for anti-aging, boost collagen, and freeze fat cells. Check them out now at crystalcryo.net. Crystal Cryo, a beauty spa specializing in body contouring to enhance confidence with self-care, one body at a time.
This show is brought to you in part by Seminole Feed Stores, family owned since 1934. Manufacturing fixed formula horse feeds with mindful monitoring and quality ingredients right here in Ocala in an all-natural, non-medicated feed mill. Seminole Feed, simply the world's best and safest feed. Like them on Facebook now or find them at SeminoleFeed.com.
Horses! Piranha! Oh no! Oh, the humanity! Oh, piranha.
Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care seeks to be a leading international veterinary practice that provides state-of-the-art veterinary care to their patients while fostering professional relationships with their clients that stand the test of time. For 24/7 and the best in equine care, check out Peterson and Smith at petersonsmith.com or like them on Facebook now for more information.
The CEP's Equine Industry Expo is back, presented by Quantum Fiber, Wednesday, March 29th from 1 to 7 p.m. at the Ocala Downtown Market. See a variety of horse breeds and horsemanship, farrier, and equine industry demos. Learn about equine career opportunities from top equestrians. Meet the horses, take a free carriage ride, and enjoy the best in equine edutainment. The Equine Industry Expo, presented by Quantum Fiber, Wednesday, March 29th from 1 to 7 p.m. Check us out on Facebook.
The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the Horse Talk Show, presented by Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Thank you to Larson Farms, our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
Louisa Barton here in the studio with my co-host, Dancing Pete Rodda from Complementary Horsemanship. And we have our top equestrian of the week in here with us. We have Elle Woolley. Elle, it's lovely to have you with us. Thank you.
It's so nice to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me to be on the show.
It's wonderful. So a few weeks back, I guess it must be nearly a month actually, we were at Business After Hours and we were actually out at HITS, incredible facility that they've done a phenomenal job on. And updates recently there, and I got to meet Elle, and we got to chatting, and Lee said, oh, you know, you should really have Elle on the show, and I said, well, that's a good idea. So here she is, and I'm going to start off by asking you how you fell in love with horses.
Well, that's a very long story. I'll try to keep it succinct.
We have like 9 minutes, so you're good.
Okay. So my mother was an equestrian, grew up riding horses her whole life. And then when I was born, I like to say I was in the saddle before I was born, honestly. And I started formally riding around age 4. Grew up all my childhood doing pony lessons and riding my mom's bigger horses, jumping, doing all that kind of stuff, anything I could get on. And then I had a serious head injury when I was 11, an aneurysm, which left me half paralyzed on the left side of my body, so I have no use anymore of my left arm. And I was told that I would not be able to walk again, but that was not...
You were only 11.
I was 11.
Was this a horse accident?
No. It was a malformation in my brain, a vessel that ruptured and caused extensive bleeding. And so... we had a physical therapist that was telling my parents, if you want her to walk again and be out of a wheelchair, she needs to start riding and continue the riding because the equine therapy will help her body rehab. in a sense. And so we did, and I started with equine therapy shortly thereafter, which helped me regain like my center of gravity and learn how to use my left body a little bit and stuff. And being the person that I am, I don't like to do things low key. So I was like, I'm not going to do.
She's not low key,
I'm
guys.
I'm not going to do therapy. I don't like it anymore. I want to jump again. I want to be a real rider again. And so that led me to get my first horse, who immediately started bucking me off all over the place, and I was like falling off left and right because I had no balance yet. Long story short, I did rehab eventually and was then scouted by the U.S. Paralympic team back in 2014, and here I am trying to go for it. So
That's so amazing, isn't it?
Wow.
And if you're joining us on Facebook or on the television, you actually can see some phenomenal photographs. If you're joining us on the radio or the podcast, you can go to our page on Facebook, The Horse Talk Show, and actually watch this amazing horses. Beautiful. Your equitation's incredible. I mean, it's really quite something to see.
Thank you.
You in action, and obviously a serious overcomer, which is... It's really quite something, isn't it?
So you ride dressage with one hand.
I ride dressage with one hand.
What a concept, right?
Right.
We learned to sword fight through dressage.
Exactly, and the horse is supposed to be in self-carriage, and you really don't need too many hands, right? You don't need two. You don't need one. You do need one. Anyway, I'm getting flustered.
So that's cute. So talk to us a little bit about initially the challenges that you first had to face as you were kind of, I'm OTT over the top, I'm going to do this, and you kind of took this on. You got a horse and you said, okay, I'm going to do it. Talk about a little bit about some of the challenges and the difficulties that you faced.
Yeah, it was really
Balance,
hard. Balance
was
one, and I didn't even have much balance on my own 2 feet, let alone up on top of a horse. And so I remember at that age, I, struggled even leading a horse on the ground, because if he would pull me a little bit, I'd just fall over, and all this stuff. And so I needed to have a lot of help at that time. Some of the challenges, of course, frustration, because I knew what it was to be a good rider and was used to, being given difficult horses that other kids were too scared to ride, because I was like, yeah, I'll get on that. And so I would be so frustrated with myself all the time. Because
now, were you right-handed?
Yes,
you were right-handed.
Always right-handed.
That was at least one thing, right, on
exactly.
your side.
And so then, and I didn't know that I should tie my left arm out of the way, and so I broke that a few times coming off and stuff. And so I think the biggest challenges were just not having any balance in the saddle, and I would just, if a horse would spook a little bit or flinch or whatever, I would just hit the dirt and then go and incidentally break something,
Oh my gosh.
So
yes. Now, were you afraid? You don't sound like you were afraid.
Oh, never once.
Sound like she was afraid.
I was like, no, I got a cast. We're just going to put that in my pocket and get back on. Whatever.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, that whole gene of being afraid and having that sense of self-preservation, I don't have that.
You're an inventor, right? I notice a lot of inventors that do that same thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you just got to get it done at the end of the day, right?
So talk about that first horse and kind of how that helped you through this journey. Was that?
Yeah. So his name was Sneezy.
Sneezy. I like that. It's cute.
We like to call him an American warm blood, hint, hint, because he was half a Belgian draft crossed with an Arab Appaloosa mix.
That's an interesting mix right there.
The Belgian was the powder keg and the Arab was the spark. So
so you had your hands full a bit.
Yes, he was a big, fat boy. I'll just put it that way.
Yes. You had your hands full.
He was so tough. He was very athletic, surprisingly so. And he wasn't particularly well behaved all the time. But I loved him, right? There's that little snitch of an Appaloosa in there. But I loved him. It was like love at first sight. We locked eyes. He had the cute little foxy ears. And I was just like, that's my horse. And Mom was like, oh, God, here we go. So that's him. As you can see, I like the red ones. I'm a really sucker for anything chestnut.
Yeah. I'm Mustang.
Yeah, I really like them. And, I don't like challenges.
Right. So
So yeah, Sneezy, he was
put
a
you
very
through your paces, huh?
He did, but he really taught me to keep
I was gonna
getting
say,
on.
he taught you a lot, right?
He taught me to keep getting on, and he taught me to just figure it out, just like keep trying and work through all of the frustrations and the don't know how my body works anymore, and like really taught me tenacity.
Do you remember how long it took you to get to a comfort level?
I'm trying to think.
She was comfortable at the beginning. What are you talking about?
No, she was definitely brave at the beginning, right?
I don't know actually. That's hard to say.
But it was a process.
It was
stages.
a process. I never was scared, and I think I just didn't really realize the risk, or I didn't think about it and stuff. And so
that was what you loved. It was your passion.
Yeah.
And you were not going to be stopped.
I just grew up with it, and so I always felt comfortable in the saddle. To somebody, just felt normal. And honestly, this is like my little tearjerker part. I was like, it really saved my life. I was so ultra depressed, like so sad, really didn't have any friends after that injury and coming out of the hospital and stuff like this. Like my whole life just got ripped out from under me. And horses was like the tie back to what I knew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's really what kept you going and gave you that will to really, like, you weren't scared, yeah, because it gave you you were like, I'm going to do this.
Exactly.
I think that's impressive.
Yeah.
It's really amazing. Incredible. That segment went by very fast.
Yes.
But the good news is we are coming back with Elle, because I got lots more questions. Elle, the overcomer, I think we should call her. Yes, we'll be back in just a minute. Stay with us.
Welcome back to the Horse Talk Show. Have you ever heard of a horse that could talk? Listen to this. With your host, Louisa Barton. She's literally in love with every horse. Presented by Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. She's back in the saddle again. And now, here's your host,
Pretty.
Louisa Barton! She's a Brit, she's got the gift of the gab, and her guests are fab.
Larson Farms is our TV broadcast sponsor. Mr. Richard Larson, a man of great integrity, cares about every single bale of hay and about taking care of his customers. He also has a huge heart for those genuinely in need. Larson Farms, Idaho's finest alfalfa.
With over 70 years of collective experience in the horse industry, Lip Chip was built with integrity by horsemen for horsemen. Introducing the Chip Link system. Powered by Lip Chip, where a 15-digit unique ID becomes a key to unlock not only identity, but also health paperwork, owner information, and even photos of each horse. So simple, even a child can do it. The future is here. The future is Lip Chip.
This show is brought to you in part by DAC Vitamins and Minerals of Florida. All horses need a solid immune system, excellent joint support, a healthy gut, and DAC has all the vitamins and minerals they need with the NASC stamp of approval. So like them on Facebook now or go to feeddac.com. DAC, it makes a world of difference.
This hour of the Horse Talk Show is presented by Palm Chevrolet in Ocala, where the entire team is committed to making your experience in sales and service hassle-free and easier than ever with no games or gimmicks. Come in and visit on Southwest College Road or online at palmchevrolet.com. A second-to-none experience with all the amenities. Palm Chevy, find new roads.
The Equine Performance and Innovative Centre, situated on 30 pristine acres in the horse capital of the world, is one of the finest and most complete conditioning and rehab centres for equines and canines in the nation, including an equine hyperbaric chamber, aqua pacer, water treadmill, cold water leg spa, equine swimming pool, Eurosizer, and more. Epic equine veterinarians specialising in rehab and conditioning. For more information, go to epcrehab.com. Or find them on social media. The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the second half of the Horse Talk Show, presented by Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. Thank you to Larson Farms, our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
Louisa Barton in the studio with my co-host, Dancing Pete Rodda from Complementary Horsemanship. And we've been chatting to Elle Woolley, and it's been quite a wonderful first segment, finding out about her kind of being literally born in the saddle, then at 11 years of age, having experienced an aneurysm that caused her a disability that would have stopped most people, but not Elle the Overcomer, which we've decided to call her because she certainly is that, and extremely brave, but shared with us that really the horses gave her the will to live when she was very depressed about what had happened to her and to her health. So she struggled for a while, as anybody would, but did not give up and has continued to accomplish her goals. It's pretty impressive stuff. Brings a tear to your eye, and amazing young lady. So we were talking a little bit about you obviously you overcame, you struggled back from a very difficult time. As you have progressed in your horse riding career, share with us some of the goals that you've accomplished that you really wanted to accomplish, and then kind of what's the top of your bucket list now going forward?
Okay, so really the major thing that I've accomplished now is bringing my recent horse, my horse Duke, that you've seen a lot of pictures of me riding on there, the big chestnut. I'm working with him. I got him, he was my second young horse, and I got him as a 3-year-old imported and stuff, and he had a bit of an injury, and it's been a really long road getting him fit to compete, and I just did my first 3-star CDI, para CDI with him over this past weekend. So that is the first CDI I've done since 2014, and I'm absolutely thrilled. He was perfect. So I'm super, super happy with that. And as for goals, I'm really trying to qualify for 2024 Paris Paralympics.
Wow.
Yeah. That's a massive goal.
I've got little goals now.
I'm really, really trying, yeah. So I have to do a certain amount of international competition with this horse, and there are limited para CDIs in the U.S. So that's hard because we have to travel outside of the U.S. I have one in Ottawa coming up in May, if I can raise enough capital to do that. So that would be the next on the list. And then nationals are in Lamplight, Chicago in August. And then another international show in Tryon, North Carolina in the fall.
Wow. So that will get you qualified to actually go and compete in Paris in 2024.
So that will get me enough points to be considered to qualify. And so then after that, I will have to go to selection trials and go through the actual Paralympic qualification process in order to be named to the team. But doing those 4 major shows this year will give me enough points to be able to be considered.
Wow.
An amazing journey. Yes, that's right. Woo-hoo, yes, we'll definitely be cheering you on. So then you've got to sell some real estate too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm so happy to announce that I had just joined Tasha Osborne's team with Premier Sotheby's International Realty.
Wonderful.
I'm a newer agent, so I'm really enjoying it so far. I love that I have the time to both ride and work, simultaneously. And I really like the process. It's kind of like dressage with like the little nitpicky stuff that you have to do, like the paperwork and all that stuff. I actually like it.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
I know, it's weird. I know I'm like weird like that, but I also really enjoy talking to people and meeting new people.
Yes, and showing them the beautiful farms that we have here in the horse capital.
Oh, yeah.
Can't go wrong there. And if you're a dressage person, then you know exactly what they need and are looking for, right?
Exactly.
So that's very helpful.
Yeah.
So, of course, the sales there will help to
support
it's not
everything.
An inexpensive undertaking, is it,
No,
to do these things?
No, and it's even the shipping internationally, and then I have to, we have a wonderful groom that comes with us. He's done a lot of Olympic games, like he's really world class, but he's also not cheap. So he has to get paid, and my coach, of course, and it's just everything that goes into it. It really does add up.
And who is your coach?
My coach is Lisa Helmer of LCH Equestrian here in Dunellen.
Wonderful. So you've got somebody, and then do you have kind of like a mentor person that you look up to, or is that Lisa?
It's her. Yes, it's absolutely her. So Lisa, she is a phenomenal dressage rider. She took a horse that she got essentially for free and trained it up to Grand Prix. She's a gold medal rider. She got her gold medal by herself on this horse that pretty much no one else could ride. So she knows the tough horses. Wonderful. She's incredible. She knows it takes a long time and perseverance, and she absolutely 100% understands my horse, which is paramount to the whole thing.
It absolutely is. Yeah, wow, what amazing accomplishments and incredible goals.
And she's also the USA developing athlete coach for USEF.
Amazing. So you're in really, really good hands there. Yes. So you've got somebody really kind of leading you in that direction to make it, to accomplish this big goal. But, you know, I get the impression that there won't be a problem for Elle.
Right. Thank you.
You're definitely a go-getter and overcome so much to reach your goals and not giving up. You know, it's really incredible.
That's really my message that I want to tell people, and not to be cheesy or anything, but genuinely, I really mean it, is that from personal experience, you have to have so much heart, and you have to really believe in yourself as you would believe in someone you love dearly. I mean, that's the point, right? You have to really have that confidence in that heart and that belief in your own self, and you really can do anything.
And that's why when we saw her at the CEP, she walked around like she owned the place.
Yeah, exactly. That's
you gotta be like that.
Yeah, you do. I mean, there's no doubt. But I think you, as a testimonial to, you know, to the people out there, you know, whether they're at, you know, at MTRA or, you know, Stirrups and Strides or any of those wonderful therapeutic riding centers that we have in this area. You know, Betty Gray's daughter is an example of a young lady that won't quit, you know, that had an accident at a young age. And, you know, I feel like you as a spokesperson, you know, for all those people involved in those programs, that look, just because something happens to you in your life that seems to be a barrier or some kind of a disability either that you're born with or experience later on in life, don't let it stop you. Don't give up.
Become an inspiration.
Become an inspiration and go to the Paralympics, you know, why not?
And that's, you know, it's people struggle with everything, right? We all have different things that we struggle with every day and stuff. And I think it's really important to know that you're not alone in that, and that that there are people that understand what you're going through or can relate.
Yes.
And that's really what it takes. And I just feel like that's the message I want to get out there.
Good. We have a goodie bag for you, Elle, the Overcomer. I want to thank you so much for being with us. We're going to actually take it to Fabian at Reboot right now for your tip of the week.
Hi, I'm Fabian Ronick with Reboot Self-Care Center, and this is this week's tip of the week. I would like to give you guys a tip on helping digestion. So one way you can do that is to make sure while you're eating any kind of a meal that you don't drink ice water at the same time. Something that we see all over here in the US especially, you know, everywhere you go there's ice water when you're getting a meal. But the idea is if you're eating food and drinking ice water at the same time, is your body has to warm that ice water up to a normal body temperature, so it actually interrupts your digestion process. So what's recommended is to either sip water during, or even better, if you sip a warm tea during your meals, that's going to help the whole process of the breaking down and digesting your food. So that's one tip for the week to help with digestion.
Thank you to the presenting sponsor of this portion of the Horse Talk Show, Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. Thank you to our TV broadcast sponsor, Larson Farms, Idaho's finest alfalfa. Also, thank you to supporting sponsors, Nirvana Medical Spa, TT Distributors, Summit Joint Performance, Equine, Midnight Rose Equestrian, the Florida Horse Park, Horse Farms Forever, and the Equine Performance and Innovative Center. Having an air conditioner that works well in Florida is a must. Experience peace of mind by working with Florida HVAC Services, a family-owned and operated company taking pride in always putting their customers first, providing air conditioner repair, installation, and maintenance services on all makes and models. For those suffering from allergies or asthma, air quality testing is recommended and hospital-grade air filters are available. Ask about a pure air filtration system today. Check them out at flhvacservices.com or like them on Facebook. Florida HVAC Services, serving all of North.
Simply the world's best and safest feed. Like them on Facebook now or find them at SeminoleFeed.com.
Horses. Piranha! Oh no! Oh, the humanity! Oh, piranha.
My name is Dr. Nathalie Solomon. I formulated Equine with cutting-edge science and technology alongside the passion that is represented by a lifelong love of horses. I created a product that I would trust for my horses because they deserve nothing but the best for their bodies. Horses rely on us to take care of them, to love them, to respect them. This is how Equine came to life. Equine, CBD for your horse that you can trust.
The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the Horse Talk Show presented by Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. Thank you to Larson Farms, our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
Louisa Barton, host and executive producer of the show, in here with him, Dancing Pete Rodda from Complementary Horsemanship.
It's just him.
And it's been much too long, but we have Dr. Nathalie Solomon here, the Greene Pharmacist and creator of Equine. And I've got a funny story to tell you a bit later on in this segment, but I'm going to start off by saying it's lovely to have you back. You might have to lean in a little bit more.
It's lovely to be back.
It's been too long. So you've had some new products.
Yes.
I mentioned before earlier on, she actually has a licensed lab on her own farm. So made in Ocala, which we think is super impressive.
Thank you. Yes.
Made in America, but made in Ocala.
Made in Ocala is even made in the horse capital. It's fantastic. So tell us a little bit about some of the new and exciting things that are going on.
Okay, so we have 2 new tinctures for the human line. One focuses on sleep. It's a CBN or cannabinol.
That's the funny story.
It is. It's like CBD, but it's more sedating. So it's great for nighttime use. Helps people that are having trouble falling asleep, also staying asleep, and just really having that restorative sleep that we all want. I know there's a lot of medications that we can take over the counter or prescribed, and we just feel like a zombie the next day. So this really takes that away. So you really get restorative sleep on the CBN tincture.
Okay, so I've got to tell my funny story about this. So I cannot even, I'm going to try and keep it straight face when I tell this story. So I can't even take one Benadryl without sleeping for a week, right? And I don't sleep at night. And a Benadryl literally makes me so groggy the next day that I actually feel like I'm in a deep depression. So I decided to try the CBN, and it made me feel like really relaxed. And I thought, oh, I'm going to go to bed early. And since I'm going to bed early, which I never do, I'm going to take my little red light device with me, which is warm, you know. And I actually bought it on my Larson Hay trip. And I'm going to go ahead and massage my face because I haven't done it for a long time because I don't stay still long enough to do it. So, you know, my little red light thing has it's warm. You know, it's not hot. It's just warm. So
she's going to snort.
So this is funny.
I think I know where this is going.
So I'm lying in bed for, I mean, honestly, I don't remember doing like 2 circles with this thing. And about 2 o'clock in the morning, I woke up and went, what is hot on me?
Oh, no.
And I had gone into such a deep sleep that I fell asleep with the red light on me here, and I had a huge red ring right here. So the moral of this story is this stuff is so good. Don't fall asleep with your red light in your hand.
Be careful what you're doing before you go to bed.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I slept like a log. And when I woke up the next day, no groggy, no depressed, no know nothing. So I can absolutely testify to the fact that it works and that you actually will fall asleep with your red light stuck to your face if you're not careful. So that's pretty good stuff.
Yes, that's great. I'm happy that you got to try it.
Yes.
And you got to tell us that story.
Yeah, it's pretty. The first day I was howling, wasn't I? It's a good thing I had a practice, or I would have been rolling off right now.
Yes. So the other tincture is THCV. We're all familiar with CBD and also THC, which is the most abundant cannabinoid found in marijuana. So this works the opposite of what THC would. So THC is known to increase appetite, really put you in a very relaxed state. So this blocks the same receptor in the endocannabinoid system and produces the opposite effect. So it curbs your appetite. It really stops cravings that you may have. It's energy boosting and stimulating versus, bringing it down. And it allows you to accomplish weight goals, by not making you feel as hungry as you would. So if you're trying to do intermittent fasting or trying to fast for a certain set of hours, the tincture really helps kind of set those goals and achieve them. Also, if you're like me, I will eat lunch around 1 or 2 o'clock every day. And then after that, I feel really tired, like I want to take a nap. It doesn't matter what I eat or how big or small the meal is. I always feel the same. I have found personally that this tincture helps me kind of within 20 minutes just perk back up and continue my day. So really helpful for that aspect as well, even if you're not trying to lose weight, but just trying to promote some energy after eating. So.
That's incredible, especially that kind of drop-off that most people have in the afternoon, which does happen 2 or 3 when you start feeling like, you want to take a nap, right?
It's a common thing, and it helps you increase your water intake because it's going to make you more thirsty. So you're definitely going to want to increase your water intake, always have water with you if you're on this tincture, which is a good thing. It also, drinking more water will help you lose weight as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And that sugar craving stuff is just, it's rubbish, but it happens. I mean, it really is. It's bad. And I have that problem.
Yeah, and that part does take time. So, if you're looking for like the quick fix, this takes time to work. You have to understand that there's also a psychological effect to sugar. It's not that your body just craves it. Your body may not crave it or you may not have it, but your mind may still think you do. So you find yourself more in a habit of eating sugar or eating those wrong foods. So give it time because eventually you're just not going to eat them at all because you're just not hungry for them. But give your mind some time to catch up to that. Your stomach is not hungry anymore. So I have found that some clients are like, well, I'm still eating, but I'm not hungry. I was like, that's the psychological part. We got to make sure the mental part catches up to what your stomach is.
So be patient. Don't expect like
any product with CBD. That is the number one key to being successful. With CBD, it is a commitment. It's not something that if you're looking for the quick fix right now, I don't recommend that road for you. But if it is something that you want to commit to and do something very healthy for your system and really restore your balance of your system, time is your investment with CBD as well.
And that's the same with anything you start. If you start an exercise program and think, I'm going to be thin tomorrow, it's all about consistency and sticking to something. But this way, you actually can sleep at night soundly and then have more energy and some natural appetite suppressant as well, and help eventually your patient to curb those cravings of the wrong foods.
Correct, yeah.
And make you drink more water.
It allows you to make smarter choices, set new goals, get you there, with the healthy weight that you want to lose in the time frame that you'd like to.
And losing it fast isn't good anyway, because then it comes back quick. So this is actually a much slower process of doing it the proper way and starting to curb your appetite and eat the right things.
And if you have a higher energy level, you may want to exercise more. You may have that want to do it. Also, you're building healthy habits along the way. You're not just taking something that, we have certain things on the market like phentermine. You're not supposed to be on that for more than 3 months. So after 3 months, then what? You know, if you didn't change your habits in 3 months, then everybody complains about that rebound weight gain. And I'm not trying to say that this is better than that, but it's a losing weight is not just taking something. It's a commitment you have to make, and you have to set goals. And I know sometimes we need aids for that. So this is strictly what that's for. It's an aid to help you make those goals and make healthier choices.
Right. No quick fix magic button, but a way to help you start making better habits on a consistent basis. So is there... Whoop,
That quick.
that quick. Well, quick question. Is there a time of day you shouldn't take the one that gives you more energy because you don't want to be up late?
It really depends on the person. So if you're overstimulated on the tincture, you know, probably not after 4. Just like how you would treat any caffeinated product. You don't want to drink it after 4.
Right. That makes sense.
So yeah, I usually counsel to do that, especially in the beginning. And some people, you know, they don't have problems sleeping, so they can fall asleep no matter what.
Hold that thought. We're going to keep Dr. Solomon with us for the next segment, so stay with us on the Horse Talk Show. We have to wrap it up, but we'll be right back. Thank you to the presenting sponsor of this portion of the Horse Talk Show, Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. Thank you to our TV broadcast sponsor, Larson Farms, Idaho's finest alfalfa. Also, thank you to supporting sponsors, Nirvana Medical Spa, TT Distributors, Summit Joint Performance, Equine, Midnight Rose Equestrian, the Florida Horse Park, Horse Farms Forever, and the Equine Performance and Innovative Center.
This hour of the Horse Talk Show is presented by Palm Chevrolet in Ocala, where the entire team is committed to making your experience in sales and service hassle-free and easier than ever with no games or gimmicks. Come in and visit on Southwest College Road or online at palmchevrolet.com. A second-to-none experience with all the amenities. Palm Chevy, find new roads.
The Equine Performance and Innovative Center, situated on 30 pristine acres in the horse capital of the world, is one of the finest and most complete conditioning and rehab centers for equines and canines in the nation, including an equine hyperbaric chamber, aqua pacer, water treadmill, cold water leg spa, equine swimming pool, Eurosizer, and more. Epic equine veterinarians specializing in rehab and conditioning. For more information, go to epcrehab.com or find them on social media.
This show was brought to you in part by TT Distributors, dedicated to bringing their customers the largest selection of quality horse supplements, products, and farrier supplies in Florida at affordable prices. Also online at ttdistributors.com.
Reboot Self-Care Center in Ocala is the future of integrative healthcare, utilizing natural self-care protocols and the finest in modern technology. Instead of treating you, we are teaching you. Learn how to combat threats to your own health and protect your family. For weight control, performance enhancement, anti-aging, self-detoxing, or preparing for pregnancy, Reboot Self-Care will teach you how to improve your own health. Like us on Facebook now and find us on the web at rebootselfcare.com.
The CEP's Equine Industry Expo is back, presented by Quantum Fiber, Wednesday, March 29th from 1 to 7 p.m. at the Ocala Downtown Market. See a variety of horse breeds and horsemanship, farrier, and equine industry demos. Learn about equine career opportunities from top equestrians. Meet the horses, take a free carriage ride, and enjoy the best in equine edutainment. The Equine Industry Expo, presented by Quantum Fiber, Wednesday, March 29th from 1 to 7 p.m. Check us out on Facebook.
The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the final segment of the Horse Talk Show for this week, presented by Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. Thank you to Larson Farms, our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
Louisa Barton in the studio with Dancing Pete Rodda from Complementary Horsemanship, and we have Dr. Nathalie Solomon with us. We've been chatting to Dr. Solomon about products that she actually makes on her farm in her licensed lab. They're all independently tested and focused on equestrian health, but also a quick mention before we change topics, and that is horses and dogs can take care of it all. We were kind of focused on the people side of it because those couple of new products, which the CBN is a absolute life changer if you cannot sleep at night. It's a wonderful, wonderful way to help you relax and get into a very, very deep sleep and not feel terribly groggy. And then if you're trying to lose weight or change your habits and you don't want to be on necessarily a prescription drug, you can definitely use this. Or perhaps if maybe you were on phentermine for a few months and you're trying to come off that and do it yourself, this could be a great support system to help you with your energy and your appetite and help you make better choices and maybe not have some of those cravings. So great new products, but also a line of fantastic, phenomenal products for horses and dogs as well.
Yes, thank you. And I just want to mention that, if you need any guidance on selecting a product, or if you want to be screened for medications, if you're on other medications, I'm a licensed pharmacist. I'm equipped to do that and make sure any of these products are completely 100% safe for you and won't have any interactions. So again, I'm at your service for that, and there's no extra charge for that as well. So I just want to make sure everybody's aware that I'm happy to mentor or help in decision making for these products. That's what I'm here for.
Which is really nice. You're not talking to somebody in a foreign country that doesn't understand what your concerns may be. You actually have a licensed pharmacist to answer those questions for you. So you're not calling an 800 number somewhere and not getting any answers. You actually have somebody hands-on, local, here in the horse capital that can help direct you if you have concerns about anything that you're already taking, and we're certainly not recommending ever that anybody stop taking anything that the doctors prescribe for them. This is to kind of help you change your life and complement what you're doing, and as Dr. Solomon said, she can confirm whether or not there's any concerns about interactions, so that's a big thing. And my dog, who's been itchy his entire life and not due to fleas, has always had a terrible, terrible red belly. I use every day the canine version for him with his food that's helped him so much, and how he was red raw and sore. And then horses also, a great line of products for horses as well.
Yeah,
So
we have topicals, we have feed toppers, we have nebulized aerosol ways to get CBD into the horse's system from the respiratory tract. So we have oral sprays as well, so for as needed use. Same for the dogs. We have treats, we have tinctures, and feed toppers, which her dog's on a feed topper, and the horses and dogs find it very palatable. They don't have any problems consuming it.
yeah, so much so that my dog won't eat his food if it doesn't have it on it.
Kind of created a little CBD monster there.
Yeah. He loves the way it
Give
tastes.
me my CBD.
Yeah. I tried to feed him once without, and he was like, "What is this? I'm not eating this."
Yeah.
He doesn't have you trained at all.
No, not at all. And your website for people for more information?
Yes, it's the Greene Pharmacist. There is an E at the end of Greene. I'm also on Facebook and Instagram. There's a lot of helpful posts on there to learn more and direct links to the website. But yeah, there's a human, a companion animal, and a equine link to learn more about the information on the products and view all the products separately. And again, my phone number is on the website, easy to reach via email, text, or phone, and I'm happy to help any way I can with any kind of selection for any product.
Absolutely, and if you're a local person that's very interested, she would invite you to the lab to check all of that out, and I've had that amazing experience as well, which is really cool, and got to learn how to make my own. So Dr. Nathalie Solomon, very good friend of mine, and a wonderful source of information for your health, your dog, and for your horses. So, what do we have here? Look at this. We have the lab. We're like magic. Look at us. Look at this. It's fantastic. So you can actually kind of see how professional the entire process is. And as I said, independently tested every batch to make sure that it is what it says it is. You ought to go over there and do this. You would love it.
Yes,
It's an absolutely fantastic experience, and you can get all kinds of different flavors. And CBD is a great support system for four-leggeds and two-leggeds. So I'm sold and really impressed. So we got Pete's Horsemanship tip of the week for you. So here it is.
Dancin Pete's tip of the week, brought to you by Complementary Horsemanship.
If you have to run.
Okay, today's tip of the week is get excited about your mistakes. So when you're playing with your horse, you make a mistake, no big deal, get excited, woohoo, I made a mistake, because mistakes are how you really learn. It's not your successes that you learn from, it's your mistakes. If you go to the top Olympic riders, to somebody that's successful in horses or anything, they're not going to tell you, oh, I got good because I won everything. They're going to say, I got good because I made these mistakes. So don't be scared to make mistakes. Get excited about them, because that's what you're going to remember, and you're going to change because of those mistakes. In your life also, even though it's kind of hard sometimes for us to go, I made a mistake and I got to get excited, but that's what we should do.
Oh, look, Elle even shared with us earlier how even falling off and getting back on was a lesson, and she was brave and she got back on, and look what she's accomplished from that. So not quitting and learning from your mistakes, very important, and we certainly can use that in life, can't we?
Yes, we can.
We absolutely can indeed. Another mention for the Equine Industry Expo presented by Quantum Fiber. We are very, very excited to be having this annual event happen again, March 29th from 1 to 7 p.m. That is going to be at the Ocala Downtown Market, 403 Southeast Osceola Avenue. And Nathalie has to leave. She has to run off and take off. So thank you for being with us, Dr. Nathalie Solomon. Just want to let you know that the expo is going to be an amazing experience for whether you're a student, very, very young, to walking around on your walker, if you want. All ages are going to absolutely love this event. You're going to have an opportunity to see some horses, all different breeds, everything from a Gypsy Vanna to a Mustang to a Thoroughbred, Pasofino, Mangalaga, Marchador, miniatures, you name it, they'll be here. So it'll be a fantastic opportunity to meet the Gentle Carousel miniature therapy horses that will be here, walk around and talk to some of the vendors, buy some great products. I hear that the vendors are actually sold out right now and on a waiting list. So there's going to be a lot of people here. Pete's going to do some horsemanship for us in the round pen. The barn will be set up here. We'll have a photo opportunity area. You can take photos with different breeds, and you'll learn all about those different breeds of horses. Then we'll have a later shift of horses that actually comes later on in the afternoon. We're going to have a farrier here doing a demo. Dr. Cayot's going to come and do an equine dentistry demo for us here as well. So you get to see how horses' teeth are floated and how we help them be more comfortable about eating, especially if you've noticed your horse dropping food. That's a definitely telltale sign that your horse may need a time to have the dentist come. So we're going to have a lot of exciting things going on, and food vendors and food trucks, and lots to learn about having a career in the equine industry from experts. And we got to wrap it up, because that was the sound that means it's the end of the show. So whether you're in Ocala, Marion County, the horse capital of the world, or not, happy horsing around until the same time next week.
See ya.